The All Digital Radio Network.
Want to go out to a movie? Or maybe watch a movie at home, but you can't decide on what to watch? Head on over to freemovieinformation.com. The movie trailers and descriptions for thousands of movies, both current and older, are all in one place. freemovieinformation.com. Thousands of movie trailers, one location. freemovieinformation.com.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the All Digital Radio Network. Whether you're a brand new listener or a longtime fan, you've probably noticed that we have quite a lineup. Do you have a business, an organization, or a group that needs global exposure? Have you been priced out of the traditional radio market, or are you seeking a new, innovative way to reach your customer base in this advanced digital age? Radio advertising is one of the most inexpensive and effective ways to get your message out to the mass public. We have advertising packages for almost any budget with the same quality you've come to expect from the All Digital Radio Network. Give us a call today at 312-324-0180, or you can email us at advertising@alldigitalradio.com. Let the All Digital Radio Network broadcast your business message to the world crystal clear.
Did you know that the federal government gives away over $400 billion in grants each year to private citizens like you? Go to findthegrant.com. These programs require no credit check, no collateral, no cosigner. What you need is the correct information found at findthegrant.com. If you're a U.S. taxpayer, you are entitled to your slice. Get the information to get started today. www.findthegrant.com.
You are listening to the All Digital Radio Network.
The virus has completely devastated over 150 of the world's major regions and is spreading rapidly. At this point in time, we know of only one method of killing the creatures going to destroy the brain. Be on the guard of any loved ones who may have recently been in any sort of contact with the infected. And if you find yourself out in a threatening position, please do not hesitate to act. Again, because this is not a test. This is not a joke. We as a species are overwhelmed. We are outnumbered.
Come now. Surely you know business. I know so much about you.
Oh my God.
I know you. Look at everything I've done for you. You'd be nothing without me. Why don't you answer me? I bet you're busy talking to some fucking slut.
That was a little bit of what we heard in the van.
I was wondering.
Rock it out in the van.
The dubstep. Welcome to Walker Wednesday, everybody. My name is Locke Michaels. They call me the Dirt Farmer. I guess I'm the Dirt Nap Farmer when I do the Walking Dead show. With me tonight, I also have Miss Beatrice Rodriguez Prada.
Hi, everyone.
She's got the sniper rifle. She's up in the watchtower. She's watching the walkie-talkie bot. So behave yourself. We also have Miss Wendy King with us.
Hey, everybody.
And, of course, we have Mr. C.B. Snow.
I want the sniper rifle job.
It's not all it's cracked up to be.
And hello, LJ.
There you go. We got to mention LJ. It's not a show without mentioning LJ. I'll tell you that right now. But, I did not watch the show when it broadcast. I got to watch it after I saw the Twitter comments and everything else. And I'm never, ever doing that again.
Oh, wow.
Because if this wasn't the season finale, can you imagine what the season finale is going to bring? But this was Season 5, Episode 14. The title of the episode was Spin. It originally aired on March 15th, 2015, directed by Jennifer Lynch, who's the daughter of filmmaker David Lynch. Doesn't he do some weird stuff, too?
You got me.
That name sounds
David
very
Lynch,
familiar.
isn't that Twin Towers and or Twin Peaks? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Twin Peaks.
I think he does some pretty bizarre stuff too. And then of course we had our opening scene. Wasn't it nice and sweet? You saw Father Gabriel.
Yeah, he looks like he's getting ready to do a sermon.
Yeah, the what did I call that? The car park church.
Yeah.
The car park. Ladies and gentlemen, come to the car park church in Alexandria. and bring some strawberries.
Wow.
What's up with the strawberries? Did anybody get any semblance out of that at all, or is that just...
I read somewhere that strawberries have great religious significance.
Oh.
Oh, I like strawberries. Maybe I should go to church more often. But, of course, they have to have something to eat on the Talking Dead, so, everybody had the strawberries. And theirs looked good, too. They were like fist-sized strawberries.
Oh, they're perfect. And who were the strawberries from?
Somebody called Rosemary. Have we met Rosemary yet? Can anybody recall?
That's not the fat girl, is it?
No.
Oh. Sorry,
that was Lydia.
No, I don't think we've met. The mysterious Rosemary sent the strawberries. Okay.
Yeah, and,
strawberries are the symbol of purity and sensuality, fertility and abundance, humility and modesty.
Sensuality and humility and modesty?
Yep.
That don't go together well.
That's okay.
Kind of playing hard to get. I like the old Egyptian gods. Nefertiti, she was the god of fertility, inebriation, and music, which basically made her the god of sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, how cool is that? But Gabriel was going through a little thing here. He looks like he had a page from his older Bible that he had in plastic, and then he starts ripping out the other pages. And
yeah, which I don't get.
Yeah, I didn't really get it either, other than just to show he's a freak.
To me, it was like, it's like he's gone stark raving mad. He's crazy.
Yeah, but I sat there and I watched him ripping out, pages and then handfuls of pages, and I had no idea what it meant by that. So I did what I always do: is the next day I went around and read as many of the reviews as I could read, and nobody even mentioned it. So I guess nobody knew what it meant.
Yeah, it's just showing he's nuts. And we were talking about this before the show. It used to be when you went to a movie back in the 80s or 70s, something horrible happened and everybody rose up and overcame. But that's not the way people are. If something like this were to really happen, and we know Gabriel's not been in the apocalyptic world that long. He kept himself locked in his church as his, congregation got eaten alive. You either fall apart or you crumble or you rise above. And I think that's what we're seeing now through the whole episode. We're seeing people that are deteriorating, and we're seeing people that are rising up. I mean, this episode was the perfect example.
Yes.
People that we thought were going to wash out stepping up, and other people that we thought were a little stronger just completely losing it. And then, of course, you've got the religious aspect between Gabriel and God. And that's what he does. He looks up at the end. He looks up at God and shakes his head like he's passing judgment on God. And for a preacher to do that, that's really, really messed up.
Yeah.
But he did get a new collar. And first of all, where in Alexandria do you get a new collar?
That was the first thing I wanted to know in that scene.
Yeah.
Where the hell did these new collars come from?
Maybe somebody made one for him.
Could have made it out of white cardboard, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess.
Those little things you get in your shirt that hold the collar up when you buy a new shirt? Or it could have been just one of those just whipped around.
Or if you flip it over and it says Maxi Pads on the other side or something like that.
Yeah, it could have been one of those little ladies, those junior league ladies types that were, cookie.
Carol did it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But as horrible as this episode was, what is the next thing we saw? Daryl and Aaron going out on a mission.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't see any. This is the only thing we saw. We saw Daryl on his new motorcycle and Aaron in the car behind him going out on a recruitment drive. And I predict, with everything that we're going to talk about and that happened in this episode and everything that we're all waiting to see explode in the next episode, I predict we're going to spend more time out with Daryl and Aaron than we will answering the questions that this episode left behind. But which is fine. I think
yeah,
we'll have two sets of scenarios that the
I bet we will.
can address.
Well, they'll probably crash together in the 90-minute finale.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Daryl and Aaron, there's no telling what kind of trouble they're going to get into.
They could go out and find Negan. they can go out and find the wolves. You never know. But this is the first time in 21 episodes that Daryl's had a motorcycle.
Oh, wow. Now, what happened to his first motorcycle?
He hasn't had his first motorcycle since the governor attacked the prison.
Oh, that's
he had
right.
to leave it at the prison.
Ah.
Because remember, he took off with Beth, and they were on foot. Everybody was on foot. The only vehicle was the church bus, and I think somebody must have been dead in the church bus because all those people got ate.
Yeah.
But one more thing that I really let's get to this first. I'm jumping ahead of myself. We see Reg and Noah having breakfast outside. How sweet was that?
Oh, it was nice.
Know that something bad was going to happen at this point.
Yeah.
Noah wants to learn how to build things. Noah wants hope. Noah wants a future. Noah wants to,
Noah's going to die.
Yeah, that's pretty much a dead giveaway right there.
Well, that's what the guy, the host of the Talking Dead show said. He said as soon as he saw that, he said, "No, Noah, you're going to die."
Oh.
I mean, he's got a new gig on CSI. What's he going to do? 2 shows? But that should have been a dead giveaway there, but I didn't realize that until I saw The Talking Dead. But that's another thing, because we're going to have to deal with Deanna and Reg coming in probably the next episode, hopefully, if we get to it. And Reg already had this relationship with Noah, and now,
So in that scene, they're sitting out in the gazebo, and he pulls out that, and I guess it's a journal, and he's what's the purpose? He said something like he's recording
writes down
everything.
Yeah, he writes down everything.
For the history of Alexandria.
Well, no, just for his own personal, he writes down everything.
Okay.
And he says, if you're going to do what I do, you have to do it as well. That's why he gave him the journal.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, I have a notebook that I carry around. I keep notes on all sorts of stuff in it. Doesn't have to do, there's just all sorts of random stuff in it.
And right, and then so Noah writes a sentence down.
Yeah, we talk about that a little bit later. We're going to get to that after we figure out his fate.
Okay.
But as well as they write some of this stuff, some things in this episode just didn't make sense. I know we dwell into Abraham a little bit later, but what was the point in just showing him in the bathroom splashing water on his face?
I think he was just trying to calm himself.
He's got some inner demons, and
yeah, sometimes something's bugging you. Just put cold water on your face.
Yeah, I got a theory about
just
that.
to calm yourself down.
I got a theory about that a little bit later. But this episode was basically torn into 3 plots that re-merged toward the end. The power plant crew, which we're going to talk about first. The construction crew with Abraham and Tobin. And Francine is hot.
Yeah, I like Francine.
I like Francine. And the days of our lives in Alexandria. But the power plant crew, who saw this coming? We got Aiden, Nicholas, Glenn, Noah, Tara, and God, Eugene.
Yeah.
Eugene, who did not want to go, Eugene.
Oh, no. No, he didn't. So you're a coward. Yes, I am a coward. I have said that on many occasions. Can I say it again?
But they made him go. I'm surprised. I wonder why they didn't just let him stay at home.
Because they needed these what do they call them, CV? Micro inverters?
Yeah,
it
changes DC power to AC power is what they are.
Yeah.
And they needed those things, and he knew exactly what they looked like, and he was going to describe them, but they said no, you have to find them in the warehouse. So
right.
I'm assuming that there was an Atlantic Scientific warehouse there or something.
Yeah, it looked like a warehouse that supplied solar panels and solar panel equipment and so forth.
Yep,
that's what they claimed it was. But no, the little interactions between Tara and Eugene, I really liked in this episode. It makes you wonder if their romance is going to, get a little kindled. But I love how they give the backstory in just like a few words as possible. The electrical grid was basically a prototype. It never was meant to run this long, or it was meant to run, in a world where they could drive down the street and get parts and actually build a bigger one later. You know, this is supposed to be some kind of green community. Alexandria was self-contained. It was off the grid. But, you know, for being off the grid, it's got some amenities. I'll tell you that. And we see the send-off with Reg and his son, Aiden. I'm just thinking, man, you can't let that slide at the end of this show, or the beginning of the next show. And we see the first Maggie Glenn love in weeks.
I know. I was wondering. There was trouble in paradise for those two.
Yeah,
Maggie's busy being Deanna's chief of staff.
Yeah, she's full of herself lately, isn't she? Like, she wasn't nuts enough. But, like I mentioned before, Tara and Noah had. Oh, I didn't mention this before. Did anybody else notice the flirting going on between Tara and Noah?
Yeah, and she asked, you know, who were you talking to, or who was? Yeah,
and that should have been the second clue that he was about to die.
Yeah.
And then we get into the van of doom, and we hear. Oh wait, what do we hear? We hear something like this.
Come now, surely you can be famous. I know so much about you.
Unless we want to hear the dirty words again. At some point it says, "You are going to die." This actually is a very funny song. It's about someone who friended someone on Facebook. I think we can all relate. And then was ignored by that person on Facebook, and then went psycho and said, "I will block you. Block me on Facebook, so now I have to kill you."
Oh.
Yeah, because they play a few notes of the song, and it says, "We're all gonna die."
Yeah. Yeah, that's the if you listen to the song, there's a few wordy dirts in there, so I'll play it at the end of the show.
Yeah, and so that song is like, wait, it's the zombie apocalypse is going on. There is no Facebook. There is no friending and unfriending.
Well, the song was probably made before then. You know, a lot of people out there have noticed that the zombie apocalypse started or the Walker apocalypse started in 2010, and there has been a 2013 Toyota being driven by Rick since then. So those Japanese just keep those cars rolling out.
Keep cranking them out.
I think it was actually a a Hyundai. So that might be a Korean.
Well, they use robots, so they probably could.
Yeah, there you go. And, they get to this electrical parts warehouse, which, like we said, is probably some green energy supply house. And what do we see first? Aiden comes out just being cocky. He just wants to storm right in.
Yeah.
Now, I've got this in the show notes, and I'm going to read it exactly how I wrote it. How did Alexandria survive so long with so many dicks behind those walls?
Who knows? But probably all the good people got killed because the dumb people screwed up.
So I can't even say. I guess it was the safety of the walls, because that would not have happened anywhere else. We've seen the thinning of the herd as we've watched our group of survivors. Good people have died, and other people have just not made it. But he finally agrees to let Glenn recon the building. What did Nicholas say? Well, we don't need an escape route. We'll just go out the front. And what's the first thing they see in the front? A herd.
Whole bunch of walkers.
Herd. A full damn herd. And then they discover that, the walkers are in the front. And Tara and Eugene just keep discussing his cowardliness. And he is not ashamed of it in any way, shape, or form.
Wears it like a badge of honor.
I survived this. He was getting a little cocky there, wasn't he? He said, "I'm the reason y'all made it this far, blah, blah, blah." He just started, he started getting a little cocky.
Never would have gone to Washington. You never would have been here unless you thought that I could do something useful and tried to take me here.
It's just kind of
He said, "I got y'all here." And Tara went, "No, we got you here."
Yeah. And his response was, "You wouldn't even come here if it wasn't for me."
That was just probably him trying to save face, because he did
sort of reaching, yeah.
Yeah, he was reaching, but then again, it's I love the actor that plays this character. He knows what a douche he is.
Yeah.
When you see him on I love seeing him on The Talking Dead. But did you see the part on The Talking Dead about he said maybe Eugene will have some romance, and the girl that was standing up in the audience said, "With who?"
Yeah, thanks a lot.
But thanks to Glenn, they do cautiously go in, and he says that there's probably walkers pinned behind something, because they're not here attacking us. And, of course, he was completely right. And Eugene quickly finds the parts they need, the microinverter. And then we get probably what looked like a soldier in full body armor coming after Aiden.
Wow.
How dumb. How dumb. He's got a face mask on. He's got gloves on. What is he going to do to you? Just let him get close and push him over. But what does Aiden do? He just starts shooting and shooting and shooting. He even knocks him down and keeps shooting him until he shoots the
grenade.
Boom.
So he's a bad shot, too.
He's a bad everything. He couldn't even get impaled right. But yeah, he's thrown back. He's impaled on all this stuff. The walk and poor Tara, her head gets split open. And everybody just scatters. You know, poor Eugene, he's trying to help her, but, you know, you think he's a bad shot. Eugene's a worse shot than he is. And then you see Noah step up, and Noah's sitting there fighting like Daryl all of a sudden. So yeah, it's my second. That's my third time thinking, oh, he's going to die. He's doing too good. He's going to die. But if it wasn't for Glenn and Noah, they'd have probably ended right there.
Yeah.
And then we see, was it Nicholas? I didn't watch it again. Was it Nicholas that said, he's dead, let's get out of here?
Yeah.
But then they noticed later that he was still alive.
Yeah, he started moaning later on. But it might have been Nicholas. That would be
Nicholas
a Nicholas
was
thing
ready
to do.
to go. You know,
And then
leave everybody behind and
He
go.
just needs a hand. He just needs a hand to, you know, chances are the kid would have died anyway. I mean, he was impaled. It didn't look like he was impaled through any vital organs, but they would have had a time getting him out of there. He would have still died, especially if they'd have gone out those glass doors with him. He would have just been bait at that point. But, you know, Nicholas can't even be bothered to help get him up so he can even have a chance. And then we hear the interaction, which we all knew. I mean, did anybody have a doubt? You know, those two talking about what happened to their other team?
I had not thought of that.
I was just surprised he even brought it up. I mean, it seems kind of to be a non sequitur.
But
as to, you know, I mean, unless he was confessing his sins because he knew he was going to die.
Well, Nicholas, he said, you know, we left them before. That's what we do. I'm leaving you now. That's who we are. And then after that, I mean, Aiden might not have said anything, but he's like, you know, he's right. We left them. It's our fault.
Yeah, we were the ones who screwed up, not them. Is what he said.
Yeah, he does. He tells that to Glenn, and it was like a confession, knowing he was going to die.
Yeah, it was just too funny, Nicholas. You know, you left them. We both did. It's who we are. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Such a nice guy to have on your side.
Now, at this point, I'm not really understanding, you know, why they don't just take him out of his misery. Because who knows if he's going to be sit there impaled and be a walker for 10 years at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the humane thing to do once they had to break away because the walkers were obviously going to overrun them is put a bullet in his head.
But then it's the old, this got mentioned on The Talking Dead too, the Otis effect. You know, if you kill him, they're going to come after the next living thing. So I guess in the heat of the battle, it's better they concentrate on him while you get 10 more steps away. I mean, that could be possible. But we've never heard him come right out and say it before.
It may be. I mean, I just would have thought, especially Glenn, considering he still has a lot of his humanity left, that he didn't just plug him.
I would have shot Nicholas. I'd have shot Nicholas in a damn heartbeat.
That was a horrible death.
And this was the first person Glenn ever lost on a mission.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what Glenn was saying. That's what he was saying.
Yeah, they were actually talking.
Dead.
Yeah, they were talking about it being Noah, which part of his team. But you know, in actuality, Aiden's the first person he's ever lost because he died before Noah, and then that was due to the revolving door of death.
Oh,
who would have ever thought? You know, a revolving glass. You never see those anymore unless you go into big cities, and there's some in buildings that are 20 or 30 years old, because you never see those revolving glass doors anymore.
I've seen it some in some malls, but the thing that that confused me is have you ever been inside a revolving door?
Oh yeah.
Okay, if you look up, there's a latch right there that you push up and it locks the door in place.
Oh, you're right. There is.
Why didn't they just latch the door in place?
Well, they had to get out.
I
mean,
understand that, but the idea was Glenn was going to break through the glass. But I mean, they could have locked the door in place and then busted the glass after Eugene came by and dragged the walkers away.
Well, Eugene hadn't showed up at that point, but no, if that was possible, well, chances are, would we have thought of it if we were getting, there were 2 or 3 dozen zombies after us?
Scary, yeah, that was the scariest scene.
And they kept fighting it back and forth. I mean, he tried to break the door and it pushed it, and somebody got an arm end on Nicholas, and Nicholas just freaked. He was fighting against him at that point to get out.
Yeah.
And in order for him to get out, it had to open the door enough for Noah to get grabbed.
But Nicholas didn't care.
Oh, hell no. He don't care about nobody.
No. Nicholas was just Nicholas is not the man you want out there running around with you.
Not a team player.
He should have been lunch at Terminus. That's the only thing he was good for. But then, again, you say things in desperation, like, why did Noah say, "Don't let go"? You know you got to let go. Your leg's probably already been bit. You've probably already been bit.
Yeah.
And I love the way they read into it on The Talking Dead. It wasn't just the fact that his friend was dying in front of him. It was his friend that he could relate to, and it was his friend that had so much potential now that they were in a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just the look on Glenn's face when. And the actor that plays Glenn, he was just all about that scene.
Yeah.
He was just.
Well, it was a very powerful
everyone.
scene.
Yeah, I heard the crew couldn't even look.
It was hard to watch.
They're so desensitized, but some of them were just completely creeped out.
He's forced to watch. He's in this little cubicle and forced to watch, and it was that was the toughest scene for me to watch, I think, in the whole series, was that scene. That was awful.
Well, I've been saying it ever since he showed up on the show, but everybody ate Chris.
Poor Noah.
Found that
you're not the first one to say that, Locke.
I believe I was the first one to say it, but I haven't been the last one to say it.
Oh my God, it was everywhere.
I said it the first time he ever showed up in the Grady Memorial. I said when he almost fell down that elevator shaft, I was like, "Everybody ate Chris."
Oh my gosh!
He made it this long, and the curse of the curse of Noah finally got Aiden. Rest in peace.
Yeah, it was just the shock and horror. Such great acting from Glenn and from Noah. Just the shock and horror on their faces.
CB got a kick out of the mannequin that they used.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh,
they had that sitting there. Yeah, they had that sitting there at the Talking Dead.
That was awful too.
Yeah.
Noah didn't like looking at that. He's looking at that, and during that Talking Dead show, he's like, "Ugh."
Yeah, and they stuck a strawberry in its mouth.
But it was, rest in peace or ripped to pieces, one or the other. But as we said before, Eugene shows up to save Glenn, and he's got the music playing.
The hero, Eugene, the hero.
Yep, banging on the side of the van. And
that was awesome.
You could hear him basically saying, here, boy, come on." Trying to get all the walkers to follow him, which worked.
I thought that everyone was safe. When I saw that Eugene pull up in that van, I thought, okay, this is all going to end well. And anyway.
And it did not.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why when they were in the revolving doors to begin with and they didn't know what to do, why Glenn and Noah had the guns, and Nicholas had the ammunition.
Because his little chicken shit butt ran away from him.
But why wouldn't you just carry your own ammunition?
Somehow in the explosion they got something separate. I'd probably have to go look at it again, and who knows if it was written well enough to even see. But for whatever reason, they had to get out together and shoot everything up because there were walkers on the inside trying to get in and walkers on the outside. But thank goodness for Eugene, who again battled his way out, even though he's a horrible shot. It took him, 30 rounds to kill 2 walkers.
That's okay, as long as
While
you get the job
he's
done.
carrying Tara. Yeah.
That wasn't really Tara. She wouldn't let him carry her. Did you see that?
It was
Yes,
a
I did.
dummy. Yeah, I saw that.
With sandbags.
Yeah.
Because she didn't. What did he do? Oh, he grabbed her boob in the scene and got blood all over her boob. So she's like, "Don't touch me." But where were we? I just had to reload the soundboard. Apparently, somebody tried to get on the soundboard, and I had to reload it real quick. I wonder what Slim's doing. And then we got Eugene has to confront Nicholas because Nicholas gets out and just runs for it. And Eugene is like, what's the first thing? And again, the actor that plays Eugene even mentioned this on The Talking Dead. Eugene did the math real quick. I love the way he mentioned that. He said Eugene did the math really fast. Mm-hmm. Eugene's not stupid.
No, certainly not. And so
He
he
knew-
stops the van and he pockets the keys.
and he has to pull this 6-foot-long muzzle out of his crotch.
Which, when you're standing chest to chest with someone, isn't particularly easy to do.
But he slows him down enough for Glenn to get there and just beat the crap out of him.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's another good. So Glenn got to punch Aiden, and then he got to punch Nicholas.
Yeah.
Can Deanna be next?
But then, you see the hesitation on his face. You got to put him in the van. And even Glenn explained it during The Talking Dead. How do you show up with Deanna's son dead and the only other guy that can vouch for another point of view?
Right, that's true.
Nicholas is going to throw him right under the bus.
You
that.
know it.
Yeah.
You know it.
That's
But-
scumball.
Yeah, Glenn Glenn's gonna do the right thing, put Nick in the van.
And Eugene's going to hold a 6-foot gun to him the whole time he's there. I've seen Pulp Fiction. Bump in the road, shit happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's more worried about Tara right now, which makes you wonder if there's going to be a developing love interest there because he saved Tara. He's had the sweets for Tara for a while. He's just too socially awkward to do anything about it.
Socially inept.
Yes, that's
He's
a good
not
way of
socially
putting it.
awkward. Socially awkward would be a step up.
I mean, if the only other woman in the entire world catches you perving out on 2 other people, having sex, it is a victimless crime, and I think they know I do it and I enjoy it. Blah blah. You don't do. You just go hit
Don't
on her.
explain yourself. Just be
hit on
embarrassed
her.
and slink away. At least
Go
that's
hit on
what I
the other.
always
Go
do.
hit on the chick that's there. That's probably watching too. Don't sit there and try and explain it. Just go. Oh, my bad. Hey, you want to go get a drink? But then we've got the construction crew, and apparently Alexandria is growing, or at least they want to grow, because they're trying to expand the walls, and apparently they've done this before. And this is the second team that goes over the wall in this particular episode. Mm-hmm. This crew seems to be led by Tobin, with at least, how many did you count? It was Tobin, Francine, some other guy that was next to Tobin, and maybe 2 or 3, 4 other people.
Yeah, and there was whoever was in Cleveland too.
Yeah. I never heard that one before. I need to send a fax to Cleveland. Must mean I'm going to drop my pants and attract some walkers.
Yeah, that's what I think it was. I got to go moon some walkers. I'll be right back.
And then all hell breaks loose. They're like firing shots everywhere. They hit the hydraulics on the what do you call it? The big Caterpillar, the big dump truck.
The front end loader. Yeah.
Yeah, front end loader, and drops Francine right out onto the ground with all these walkers coming. And this, our group would have just went knives out, choke, 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 and that would have been it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, I don't think there was anybody else but Abe that wasn't an Alexandrian. I think these were all Alexandrians.
Yeah,
and
it was.
Abe. Mm-hmm. And so he throws Francine into the cab of the big front loader, and he goes underneath it. I mean, and this is what I think has been bothering Abe. Abe's had to take a back seat. Abe is an alpha male. He is a Army sergeant. He is the guy that always takes charge and is always in charge. And he's had to take a back seat to Rick, and he's had to be a virtual nobody in Alexandria. And that's just totally against his personality, his type A personality. Mm-hmm. That the only time, I mean, he was sitting there hearing voices, and he was just, just basically losing it until the walkers attack. And then it's like, Mother Dick, let's get her done.
Yeah, Mother Dick. Yeah, I thought I was like, is he having a panic attack? Is he suicidal again? Because remember the first time we see Abe, he's
just going to go have
suicidal.
fun.
He's got to have a mission.
Yeah.
Well, and the nice part about it was, if you notice the physical setup, is the Caterpillar was on one side and there was some of those Jersey barriers on the other, so it funneled the walkers right to him. And he's standing there with, I don't know, it was an iron bar or a sledgehammer or something like that.
Whatever it was, it mimicked a mace because it was something on the end of a chain. And
one of those heads he got beautifully, and it just exploded.
Yep.
CB gives that one a 9.5 for.
Oh, absolutely! I mean, there was just a little, quarter crescent left on the side. That head just left. It was awesome, and he's just having a great time. Strike one, strike two,
and he's sitting there fighting for all of them. And Francine would have been eaten by now, and. The rest of them are just sitting back there going, well, this is what we do. We're supposed to do this. What do you mean? Yeah. And even Tobin, he was like, no, we can't go help him. Yeah, we're going to go help this guy. Look at this guy. He's already taken down half of them. At least we could do is help him. No, that's not what we do. We go back. We leave whoever fell down and we go back. That's what they've been doing this whole time.
That's what they did. They're going to lose everybody. That is not a good plan. I mean, come on.
I mean, the only thing that's keeping them alive is the fact that they haven't been attacked by another group. Mm-hmm. Because the group that attacked Wiltshire would just run right over them. They wouldn't even have to get through the walls. They'd just wait until the gates opened.
Well, the thing is, the gates don't look like they lock.
Who knows if they do?
Well, I mean, Deanna opened one of them. She just grabbed it and slid it open.
Oh.
And that was the first thing we heard about these gates is no one gets in dead or alive. Well, who's keeping them out? They don't even do patrols. But I love that. Mother Dick. I wonder if we had Porch Dick last week. Now we got Mother Dick. And this was filmed weeks before the whole Porch Dick thing came out. And that the Talking Dead guy, he didn't know that this was going to be in this script because he doesn't get to watch them in advance either. He watches them when we watch them so he can react to them. So that's a heck of a coincidence. I tell you, there's a lot of dicks behind the walls of Alexandria. And then we see Tobin. I mean, Tobin realizes that, he's not a bad guy. I mean, he's sitting there talking to Reg. And Reg, he's the cautious one. Now, if they had a plumber come over to their house before the apocalypse, Reg was the one going, don't let this guy overcharge you. Or if there was a pool guy that came out, oh, no, this guy's charging too much. We need to find somebody else. He was the cautious one. Mm-hmm. You can tell that just by the way he talks. He might take a back seat to his congressperson wife, but he is the cautious one. And he's, why? Even Deanna's like, look how many of these people we're putting in charge. That's the first time That's the first time she's ever noticed that, and of course Maggie's there just to talk her down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they got nobody else to put in charge of anything because the rest of their people suck.
But they have people.
Yeah, but they suck.
If you have two groups, you're going to want your people in charge.
Yeah, but Deanna's smart enough to know they suck.
Yeah, but they're still us and them, so that mentality had to creep in there eventually. I'm glad they had this scene.
If the basic premise is if there's trouble, run. She can do the math. Eventually, she's going to be the only one left.
Because, she ain't running.
No, she ain't going out there. She has a different job. Everybody has a job. Her job is to stay in that pretty house of hers.
But I'm glad we finally saw this part of Deanna with her asking that question, because if she just went on going, okay, you can do this, okay, you can do this, okay, you can do this, okay, you can take over, that would not have made any sense. To see this in her resisting this just a little bit, it makes it more realistic to me.
Except I think she also knows she doesn't have a choice.
Yeah. There's not much you can do.
Especially now, not that she knows it yet, but with Aiden gone, who else is going to lead the groups except for Glenn?
Well, there's always Nicholas. You know, you give him enough people, he'll come back with 2 or 3 of them. But if 2 storylines wasn't enough, we get to see As the World Turns. What we call it, the Dead and the Walking, instead of the Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
But it started out with Rick and Jesse, and they're still, talking about this damn owl sculpture, and I don't really give a damn about this owl sculpture at this point.
It's bringing these 2 together, though.
Well, somebody broke the owl, and again.
But how many people are in the community?
Well, we find out who broke it later.
No, I understand that, but how many people are in the community?
30.
We don't even know.
Or so. Yeah, I mean, it's not a large number.
I'd say it was less than 30, especially now it's less
Yeah.
than 30. But we got a chance to see a little theory of Rick's. What was his broken window theory?
Yeah.
Keep windows intact, keep society intact,
Sure. I mean, basically, if you allow a broken window to go unpunished, that's the camel's nose under the tent. And what else will you let go? So you don't let people break windows.
So is that a police cops philosophy?
Yeah.
I think it's just a societal philosophy.
And that's where the whole, believe it or not, that's where the whole Ernest T. Bass character came into the Andy Griffin Show.
Ah.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Always breaking windows? Ernest T. Bass.
That's right.
But then we get Porch Dick.
Pays a visit to Rick.
By the way, Locke, Porch Dick is 1 word, not 2.
We know what it means. Doesn't matter how I put it, the show knows. We know what it means.
I understand.
This is so reminiscent of high school mentality. When you think your girl is going out on you, or you think somebody's hitting on your girl, and you want to go, test the waters. He was feeling out the competition.
Oh.
And drunk at that.
Oh, yeah, and I'm wondering why he thinks he's such a tough guy, because he can beat up on women and children.
He's a big guy. Look at him standing next to Rick. When Rick finally beats the crap out of him, it's going to be funny to watch.
Yeah, he's a big man. He's a lot bigger than Rick.
He's a doctor.
But he sits there, he starts feeling out Rick, we got to be friends, yada, yada, yada. And he even goes to the point of asking Rick about his wife, which is basically, don't hit on my wife. How would you like it if someone hit on your wife? So he brings up his wife. And it kind of works because Rick's looking at his wedding ring as the scene ends.
Mm-hmm.
And where does Porch Dick get all this beer in the apocalypse?
Beer run. I don't know.
Yeah, Aiden, Nicholas, while you're out there, pick me up a 6-pack.
Hey, well, Glenn got
along with the pasta maker.
Glenn got sent out for birth control pills and abortion pills one time, so you never know. Or pregnancy tests and abortion pills, so you never know what you're going to be asked for when you go out there. But then we get little Sam. And this was one of the best scenes. The 2 scenes that he had with Carol were 2 of the best scenes in the entire show, as far as, except for the, the action. And he's sitting there, he's looking for someone to be attached to. He's not looking for cookies unless these cookies are. I saw somebody comment on Twitter, "What are these damn cookies made out of? Cocaine?"
Yeah.
Yeah, the kid's still begging for cookies. And Carol agrees, go steal the chocolate. Now, she is not a good influence. Go steal the chocolate.
I think she thought he wouldn't do it, but he did.
Get away, boy! You bother me.
So then she starts.
She's W.C. Fields with a 12-inch knife.
Oh, I love on the Talking Dead, they called her Scarol. I was dying laughing at that. Scarol.
But she begins to see what's going on because he's asking questions. What do you do if someone hurts you? What do you do to be happy? What do you do this, that, and the other? And she's seeing the signs of abuse, and we all know her backstory and why that would be so prevalent for her because she came from an abusive relationship.
Yeah, she's been there, and it was great seeing how she very slowly she's coming to that realization that this is what Sam is here for.
And he confesses to breaking the owl.
Sometimes he breaks things.
Yeah.
What the heck is up with this damn owl? I mean, if they kill Porch Dick and he moves in with Jesse and they start a new family and they're all happily ever after and there's a damn owl sculpture, I'm going to scream.
Oh my
and
gosh.
then, so Carol's going to go see about Sam, and guess who opens the door?
Porch Dick.
Porch Dick. And who really thought that Peter was going to die right then and there?
Oh, I thought Carol would just reach in and rip his lungs out.
I thought they were going to follow a blood trail to his burning body.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She likes to burn people.
I didn't do anything. I was baking cookies, but the blood trail leads right to you, and they're smoking just like the ones at the prison. I think so. And then
she sees all the signs when he opens that door. You can just see her wheels turning. It's not a good time. She wants to see Jesse. And
she scared me. I'm looking
time.
at the expression on her face. She scared me.
Yeah, and so she knows. And why is it not a good time? Is he in there? He just beat the.
You
crap
watching
out of
your
her?
favorite TV show?
So all the alarm bells are going off for Carol, and she knows.
And who does she go tell?
Yeah, she goes and tells Rick.
You're going to have to kill Porch Dick.
Yeah,
Because
but the only
she
thing that
knows-
bothered me with that
Yeah.
is she didn't say, we have to go kill Porch Dick. She said, I'm telling you all this bad stuff, Rick. You got to go take care of it. Because I would think that she'd like to rip his throat out.
Yeah, that's true. She did put it on Rick. Do you think it's because she knows that Rick and Jesse are having this thing going on?
Well, did you see the part when Porch Dick came over to see Rick, and he said, I saw you at the party? And Rick totally went, oh, you saw me kiss your wife, but he didn't show his hand. And it was just, Peter saying that, he saw how he was having a good time and how he was, acclimating. But it kind of scared Rick there for a sec.
Yeah.
So, who knows what Carol picks up on. Carol's pretty slick.
Yeah, and oops, sorry, I forgot what I was going to say.
I do that all the time. I did right now. But then we go back to where we started from. And so many times in The Walking Dead, it kind of goes full circle. And we see Father Son of a Bitch. I mean,
Father Hypocrite?
it really didn't make me happy to see this, but I was just thinking, he's a nut. But everybody on The Talking Dead, they were just irate. I mean, he is the most. Did you see that when they did a poll and 3% said no, Father Gabriel's cool? And everybody said, no, that was the guy that's playing Father Gabriel, like typing as fast as he can to get this.
Yes.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's him.
But he basically goes to Deanna and says these are bad people, and she even says, "Well, no, Rick's told me he's had to do bad things. No, they're really, really bad people. They're really bad. They saved my life, and they killed cannibals. They're bad, bad people."
Yeah, and I left my congregation locked outside my church to die, but they're bad people.
Yeah,
Fails to mention that.
he's losing it. Like I said before, in this episode, we saw some people rise above. Even Noah, he rose above what he was. Unfortunately, all that potential is now gone. And we see Eugene now rise above. And, hopefully we'll see a little bit more of his character development. But now we're seeing some people that are just falling apart. And Abraham, he was one of the stronger people, but he was falling apart. But he rose above it.
He rose above. And, the ones that are losing it are Father Gabriel and Sasha.
Yeah, you guys wanted to talk about Sasha. We got about 9 minutes left. CB wants to talk about Sasha because he wants to see some Watchtower.
I love that little tiny vignette that they did where she's up there and she has this crazed look on her face and she starts firing. She is channeling Charles Whitman. I know she is. and you see her the crosshairs on this. I'm assuming it's a woman with long black hair running down the street, and she's about to pull the trigger.
At least it's not Francine, because Francine has short hair. We don't want to.
Yes, that's I know. Francine's cool.
Who was it? It almost looked like Enid, and
no, the different hair.
Okay, different hair. All right, don't shoot Enid. I gotta watch the Carl and Enid love thing going on, but she's
standing in a tree. KISSIN.
I was thinking that same song, Locke. That's so funny. First comes love.
CB, we both know, and you even mentioned this too. The way they do these snippets,
yes,
they make the previews turn out to be something completely opposite from what you'll actually see in the show.
Yep. The son of a guns. They are good at misdirection. They always have been. They always will be. So you don't really know what it means. I mean, she could be having some kind of hallucination that she's doing.
That's true. She could be just thinking that. But what you see is her. She looks like she's up. She looks like she's looking down.
She's in that tower.
She's in that tower, and she's firing. That is what the little teaser is. And did you see the other teaser? It's Deanna, and I'm not sure who else, standing in front of 4 graves. Did you see that?
I think it's Deanna and Rick, yeah.
Well, now this is what we have to worry about. We've got Father Gabriel putting all this nonsense into Deanna's head right when she finds out her son is dead. Right when Nicholas is probably going to throw the rest of the group under the bus. Right when she thinks this group is trying to take over. So this is the culmination of the entire episode. Oh, did we come this far just to see, these two sides, our group and the Alexandrians go to war?
Well, if they go to war with the Alexandrians lose.
Yeah, this is not fun.
I mean, how many of those people who are on the construction crew would go over with Abe and the rest of the group, and because they want to be on the winning side?
I already think Francine wants her some Abe.
Yeah, that could be in the future.
Oh, Rosita. Oh, could that have been Rosita she was looking at through the... Nah, probably not. It's probably just a random Alexandrian that she was looking at through the sniper rifle.
Oh, yeah. I hope it wasn't Rosita. It's probably a random Alexandrian. But Rosita was in the bed when Abe is splashing the water on his face and looking in the mirror. But, yeah, Francine. Abe saved her life. Totally saved her. The others would have she would have been dead.
And Francine slugged that guy. That was pretty cool. You going to leave me to die? Boom.
Was that Tobin she hit or the other guy?
Yeah, it was Tobin.
They look so similar. They should have made one of them like Hispanic or African American. They were both just two dumb white dudes standing there.
And well, Tobin in that meeting with Deanna, I just thought it was a little bit strange. He just had no trouble giving up his position.
He didn't want it.
To Abe.
You're watching some people. You're watching some people crash. They can't handle this life.
Yeah.
Type A personality is always going to rise above, no matter what. And other people are just not going to be able to take what's thrown at them. And this not only happens in something as like a disaster or a catastrophe, much like, CB, you're right there. You can probably attribute some of the stories you saw to the marathon bombings a couple of years ago. It only lasted for a short period of time, but it had everybody so grief-stricken. Some people just, had to sit and cry. And other people got up and had to take charge.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's something temporary or just random everyday life, some people fall apart.
No, you're right.
In more stressful situations, like going to war, we see this PTSD all the time. Some people fall apart and some people thrive in this environment. And I think this is what we're finally seeing. The Alexandrians are being thrust into it for the first time, and our group is battle-hardened. We've already lost all the people that couldn't make it, except for Father Son of a Bitch.
Yeah.
And Eugene.
Well, he's coming up now. I
understand that.
Eugene's got some potential there. And according to I don't like. Well, actually, I love it. I love telling you what's going to happen in the comic book, so I can tease you.
Yeah.
The next thing to look forward to, because after Alexandria comes Hilltop, and I haven't even looked at it myself. So anybody wants to go to the wiki, the Walking Dead comics wiki, and research Hilltop, I think that's the next big area. I'm not sure if Hilltop is where they go next, or if the people from Hilltop are the ones that come and invade them next.
Wow, and Hilltop is, if it's a location, where is it?
Don't know.
Virginia still, or okay.
Who knows? At Hilltop next to D.C., maybe it's Capitol Hill. Maybe somebody, made a stand there. I would think that would be the place to go. Some of those government buildings have bunkers in them.
Oh, yeah. Unless they're already occupied by bad people.
I would head straight to Camp David.
Yeah.
Just to see what was up.
Yeah. And did we talk about in the previews Carl and Enid for next week?
Yeah,
what are they doing outside of they're sitting, were they having like a picnic outside of the?
Yeah, well, I'm sure we're going to see a lot going on in Alexandria next week because it's got to build up to the 90-minute season finale. But I still expect to see a large amount of time. This is just a theory. A large amount of time of Daryl and Aaron out running into bad guys.
Yeah.
The thing that I don't understand about Carl and Enid in the tree, if you've got walkers coming at you somewhere, would you put yourself in a tiny enclosed space that you had absolutely no chance of getting out of if a walker stepped in front of you?
If you want to get close to a boy, I guess you do.
I understand that, but that could be, the last thing you do.
Yeah, and
it didn't make much sense to me either.
I knew she liked him, and I could tell from the very beginning she liked him.
Yeah, because she insulted him.
Right, she's ignoring him, she's insulting him. If you remember way back on the farm, that's exactly what Maggie did to Glenn when they first met. She really likes him, but she was mean. Remember, she wouldn't talk to him. She'd walk away, and so she likes him. And there's going to be a
You
buddy.
got this female thing down, don't you, Wendy?
She knows how to play it.
Yeah, I guess so.
But we've got about 45 seconds left. I want to make sure that everyone checks in with us next Wednesday at 10 p.m. We'll be right back here for another episode of Walker Wednesday. Tell you all about what happens in this next Sunday's episode. You can catch Wendy and myself along with the rest of the Dirt Farmer team on the Dirt Farmer Live Farmville Radio Show at 8 o'clock Sunday right here on the All Digital Radio Network. You can catch CB and Zip and Slim Monday at 10 p.m. for Off the Hook Radio. And actually, you can catch Zip and Slim in a few minutes at the Idle Blog Show. That's all I got for tonight. What do you guys got? We got 5 seconds.
Bye, LJ.
Gotta say hey to LJ. That's it, everybody. Have a great night.